Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. I guess it's kind of a first listen review. It's Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion, 2022 remastered. Depending on what you got, it could be the deluxe edition, the super deluxe box set. There's LP versions, there's all kinds of stuff that came out. And I wasn't actually going to do this one because sometimes when you get stuff early, promo stuff or whatever, you're not really sure what it is you're getting. Sometimes all the information isn't quite there. So, and I'll be 100% honest, I love Appetite for Destruction. Guns N' Roses, at that point in time when that came out, I was all about that band. I was in bands, we used to play their songs. I thought Duff McKagan was an amazing bass player. Slash was just had a style and a sound all of his own, obviously Axl Rose as well. And the songwriting was just something just fresh and new, and it had some raw energy to it. Steven Adler's drums, just like his drumming fit in perfect with the band. I love that album. So when Use Your Illusions, both came out, 1 and 2, same day. It was hyped up, it was huge. The record stores stayed open until midnight so they could start selling them, the day they were supposed to sell them. So there was like lines of people lined up when you actually had to go to the record store and buy this stuff. And I was one of those guys standing in line getting these two albums. And I'm going to be completely honest, when I got home and I listened to them, I was like, what? I waited in line for this? I was not that impressed. What I would say is if I took half the songs off of 1, half the songs off of 2, and made one album out of it, it would have been a killer album. But there was so much filler on these, in my opinion, that I started really losing interest in Guns N' Roses when these two came out. The spaghetti incident after that was like the worst thing I think I've ever heard from a band. That album's terrible in my mind. So if you were expecting a good review of this, my opinion going into this right from the start, I wasn't even going to listen to this, but I out of curiosity, had to hear what it sounded like. And I do have to say that the remaster, and that's all it is a remaster, it's not a remix or anything. It sounds really good. It's definitely brightened things up and made it sound better. There's a newly recorded version of November Rain on here with a 50-piece orchestra, which is fine. The strange thing about this is they have a video for it. It's the same video, just with the new music. They didn't change anything, which is really odd to me. So, I think part of the reason that I didn't care for these too much when they first came out was this is one of those bands where you change a member, and I think it changed the whole sound of the band. And I understand they couldn't keep Steven Adler. He had all kinds of issues going on. But you don't realize until you hear, him gone, how much he gave to that band. The feel of the band was great. And everything on that first team was loose, but it all fit tight, if that makes any sense. And Matt Sorum's a killer drummer. I love the Cult, great band. He's a great drummer. When they went on and formed Velvet Revolver, he was playing with them. Sounded great with Slash and Duff there. It just, I don't know, for some reason, for me, it didn't work with us. And then when they got rid of Izzy, who was like one of the main songwriters, which maybe a lot of people don't know, and he went out on his own. They got Gilby. And they added all that extra stuff, Dizzy Reed and all the background singers, and I don't know, it just became something I just didn't care for that much. So these two albums were the catalyst for it. So it's just weird because like Gilby Clarke's solo albums, I like them. Izzy Stradlin's solo stuff is cool. It's completely different from Guns N' Roses, and he sings on them. He's got one of those, like a Rod Stewart type sounding voice, but even raspier and lower, I guess is a good way to describe it. But his songwriting for the Juju Hounds was a lot different than anything that they used in Guns N' Roses. So it was a completely different style altogether. I guess he came back and played with them for a few shows later on, and it was a disaster too. So that didn't last. So it's too bad that he couldn't come back into the fold and maybe start making some cool music again. Of course, everybody knows the drama for the past few years that's been going on with these guys. They just can't seem to get their act together. The Chinese Democracy album took forever, and then when it came out, I just it was kind of I didn't care for that one too much either. And so hopefully maybe they can get some music out there new with Slash and Duff, in the band. I don't even know who else is in it at this point, but I guess back to this album. Like, now what I got sent to me, I guess, was the deluxe edition, which is just Use Your Illusion 1 with another disc 2 with a bunch of songs. Looks like there's 13 on each one of these, of live songs from the tour, coming out of London, Paris, Rio de Janeiro, New York, and Las Vegas. So it's a bunch of mixture of songs, which sound great. It's got actually some of the songs are with Izzy still in the band, and some of them are after Gilby that are joined. So it's kind of a mix and match. There's Steven Tyler and Joe Perry helped them do a couple of songs on Your Mama Can and Train Kept Rolling from Paris. I guess they joined on that. There's I don't know, just the guys, the Lenny Kravitz did Always on the Run with them on one of these. I'm just kind of looking through it real quick, but I kind of listened to it. It was good, I think. Which I found strange. I dug a little bit deeper into this because I wasn't really sure how this came, and I saw that there's the huge box set, and I want to see if there's complete shows, which there are, but not for the London and Paris ones, or the region Rio de Janeiro. It's New York and Las Vegas is what you get with that. It looks like. I don't see anything here listing, those other shows, which I find to be strange. But I guess if you want the whole show, you're gonna have to dish out the big bucks and get the deluxe set. So if you're a fan of these albums, I'm not going through every song. There's like a ton of songs. There's actually 63 extra songs if you get the bonus one, and there's a ton of songs to begin with on the first two. Actually, Shannon Hoon's guests on a couple of these, so that's cool. I enjoyed that band. Blind Melon there, and he sang obviously on the Don't Cry and all that still. Cool songs, I like those, but I don't know. It sounds good. So if you enjoyed the Use Your Illusions 1 and 2, you enjoyed the music on those, the remastered version actually is worth picking up if you just like that. Those albums, you want that. It's worth it. It sounds good. The songs that I enjoyed on those albums, they sound like they got a little bit fresh life. There's a little bit more brightness to them, a little sharper and fuller sounding. So I guess that was worth the price of admission, as they say. But if you want all that extra stuff, you're huge, diehard Guns N' Roses fan, it's probably worth it if you're a big fan, because you get that show with Izzy that they did, that rehearsal here in the Ritz. That was a good show. I've seen bits and pieces of that, and the ones that are on this CD, they sound great. They're recorded well, and Axl's singing his butt off on that show there. So the songs that they had included on this one from that one. I think as time went on, he got a little bit rough, on that tour. But I guess that happens to anybody. But I guess a quick one. I wasn't thinking about doing this one, but there might be some people out there who are wondering what they were getting with this deal, and from what I can see, that's how they're doing it. Deluxe edition with just some scattered extras, and the super deluxe, it looks like the huge box set, and you get a Blu-ray on there, but I don't know if anybody actually watches those anymore. Some people might. And it was a big thing back in late 80s and 90s. I don't know if people still do that or not, but that's included as well. But if you want everything, you're gonna have to buy them both separately. It's kind of strange how they did that. So tell me what you guys think of these albums, or Guns N' Roses, the whole drama that's going on with them. It has been going on forever, it seems like. Actually, just a little side note, I watched the one show that Axl did when he had the Bumblefoot in the band, and the guy from 6am there, his name, DJ Ashba, I couldn't think of his name there. He had them in the band, and man, it was weird. He didn't sound like he was doing so great when he was singing, and I don't know. If anybody saw the last tour or not. I didn't see anything from the last tour. I thought when he sang and he filled in for AC/DC, it was just sounding rough. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think of this stuff or the band anymore, but can't wait to hear your feedback on this one. I have a feeling I might get torn up a little bit over this one. Might beat me up a little bit. But that's what this is all about, just sharing our opinions. So like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and talk to you guys in the next one. See you.